Good morning students. Welcome back to the Anand Medical Academy online biology sessions. In this video, I am going to enlighten you about transformation principle given by the Frederick Griffith. Before this principle, in 1926, Gregor Mendel, Saturn and Morgan is the father of modern genetics and Mendel is the father of genetics. So many geneticists are searched what exactly the true genetic material is, that DNA or RNA or any other protein or other than these three. They do not know exactly. So this is what happened, called search for the genetic material. The true search for the genetic material happening, in 1926, but they were not exactly found. After 2 years, in the 1928, the scientist called Frederick Griffith conducted an experiment that is called transformation principle. Transformation principle is also called Griffith experiment. This is a very important in point of your theory examination also. A kind of a 3 marks question we can expect. Explain the Griffith experiment in detail. Listen carefully. So, Griffith experiment is proposed in which year? 1928. So, here so many cases students may confuse that is transformation and inheritance both are same. No. In previous sessions we have discussed that inheritance means transformation of traits through genes from one generation to another generation. Means living state to living state through the gametes into the offsprings. But here the very important question we have to raise, that how transformation differs from the inheritance. In the end of this session, you will get the clarity. The transformation is really differentiating with the inheritance or same. Clear? So, basic idea is, in transformation, the naked DNA component transfers into the living cells, whether it is a bacteria or anything. So, this is naked DNA is transferring into living cells. Whereas in the inheritance, what is happening? A cell which is carrying some information along with the DNA and fusing with another haploid cell and form a zygote. So that characters present in both the gametes are inherited into the zygote, and this zygote becomes a new individual. Inheritance means what? Carrying of information present in the DNA is passing. But here, naked DNA. Here this is a nucleus. Genetic information in the nucleus is passing to the next generation. But here naked DNA is passing. Naked DNA is a transfer. What is the need? Why it is going like that? So these kind of things, we are going to learn now. Let us see how Griffith conducted the experiment and what exactly he used and what are the steps he was followed and what he concluded in the transformation experiment. Griffith conducted experiment in 1928. He used organisms to conduct transformation principle. One is bacteria and another one is mice. So many bacteria are there. Which bacteria he used in the experiment is very important. That is Streptococcus pneumonia or pneumoniae. Streptococcus is genus, pneumoniae is species. Generally, it is a round bacteria. Bacteria were in different shapes. They are rod shape, round shape, or comma shape, spiral shape, so many. So coccus is representing a bacteria is in spherical shape. What strepto is meant for? Strepto means a bacteria is round shape but it has chain form. So many round bacteria are arranged in chain form. Strepto means what? Chain. So Streptococcus bacteria. So why the name pneumonia has been given in the genus? What is pneumonia? Pneumococcal infections, which causes pneumococcal infections. Generally, pneumococcal infections it is causing. Means it disturb the respiratory tract and sometimes it cause death. Streptococcus pneumonia generally have two varieties. Number one is soft variety or smooth variety. Another one is rough variety. This is the rough variety and this is the soft variety. Let us understand the difference between rough and smooth varieties. Generally, the cell wall has some rough surfaces. It is indicating that roughness. Clear? Whereas the smooth colony is nothing but a bacteria which represents a smooth strain. Strain means variety of the bacteria. Here also roughness, the cell wall represents roughness, but the rough cell wall is covered by mucopolysaccharide coat. Mucopolysaccharide coat. The mucopolysaccharide coat was absent here. Guys, it is a very important difference you have to follow to understand further steps. The Streptococcus pneumonia is the bacterial strain the Griffith used in his experiment. In Streptococcus pneumonia, how many types of strains he used? Smooth strain and rough strain. What are the differences between smooth strain and rough strain? Let us see. Smooth strain, rough strain. Strain means what? Variety. Smooth strain is represented by alphabet S. Rough strain is represented by alphabet R. So, smooth strain consists of polysaccharide coat around the cell wall, whereas the polysaccharide coat was absent. What is the use if the polysaccharide coat is present around the bacteria cell wall? So, if this is the generally cell wall of the bacteria, it has some coat around it, so it gets some smoothness. Smoothness to the bacteria is provided by mucopolysaccharide coat. Where that coat was absent in the other strain, that's why it looks rough. So, how does this smooth strain helps? See, once it goes to the living cell or any living body to infect as a pathogen, then living system did not identify the cell wall exact structure. Why? Because cell wall is surrounded by mucopolysaccharide coat. That coat ignores the nature of cell wall, so that antibodies cannot be detect the cell wall nature, so it can be easily infect the organism host. So that smooth strain is considered as pathogenic. Very important thing this is. In smooth strain and rough strain, which strain is pathogenic, which strain is non-pathogenic? S strain is pathogenic. R strain is non-pathogenic. I'll tell you why. This is the rough strain. The rough strain enters any organism body. Organism produce antibodies against the rough strain. Once the rough strain enters, antibodies will be produced, and such antibodies kills this form, rough form. So that rough strain, Streptococcus pneumonia, rough strains cannot overcome the immune system of the host. That's why rough strains cannot infect. So that they are called non-pathogenic. Non-pathogenic. Which strain is non-pathogenic? Rough strain, which is also called virulent. Virulent. Virulent means what? Don't think that is the virus. Virus means what? Poisonous. So it causes some poisonous. It causes some harm to the host. That's why it's called virulent strain. This is non-virulent. Non-virulent. So non-virulent means what? Non-pathogenic. So it is a non-virulent, it is virulent. Which strain is virulent? S strain. Which strain is non-virulent? R strain. Understand? Till now we have seen the three important differences. One is polysaccharide coat is present in the S strain. The coat was absent in R strain, and S strain is pathogenic and it's also virulent, and rough strain is non-pathogenic and it is non-virulent. And in each strain, the Griffith developed three varieties. Suppose if it is a smooth strain, here we can say S1, S2 and S3. And rough strain also R1, R2 and R3. Rough strain 1, rough strain 2, rough strain 3. These are the sub varieties. What are the varieties Griffith used in his experiment is main point, that is S3 and R2. Very important question. Okay, he used rough strain and smooth strain. Which type of rough strain he used? R2. Which type of smooth strain he used? S3. Understand? Where he used is the question now. So these type of varieties he injected into the mice to perform the transformation principle. So in the mice, what are the steps he conducted to inject these kind of varieties into the mice? What happened? In the conclusion, what Griffith is announced. Let us see. Griffith conducted transformation principle by using mice and Streptococcus pneumonia in 4 steps. Let us see the 4 steps. In step 1, Griffith injected smooth variety, that already I said just before, S3 type, right? S3 into the mice. So injected the S3 variety. S3 variety is virulent or non-virulent? It is virulent. Virulent means what? Pathogenic. It can cause a disease, sometimes fatal. Fatal means death. So as it is the virulent, when this strain enters mice, mice get infected by pneumonia, pneumococcal infections, and due to the severe infection, mice was died. It was died. That is the result of first step. Why in the step 1 mice was died? Because mice is unable to recognize the S3 variety because it has mucopolysaccharide coat. It unable to produce the antibodies. Meanwhile, S3 overcome the immunity system of mice and pathogenicity is developed and it leads to death. Next, in step 2, he injected rough variety. Rough variety means what? R2. R1, R2, R3 are there, but he selected R2. R2 is virulent or non-virulent? It is non-virulent. Non-virulent means non-pathogenic. So in second step, he injected R2 into another mice. Mice was not dead, it was alive. The reason, when this R2 enters mice, mice immune system able to recognize the structure of Streptococcus pneumonia R2 strain, and opposite to that antibodies were developed. Antibodies killed the R strain, so mice was alive. Now in step 3, he injected heat killed S3. Heat killed S3 means generally S3 is virulent, means pathogenic. Then once you give the heat treatment, it lose. Suppose this is smooth variety. It is also have a rough surface, but it is coated by mucopolysaccharide. When you give the heat treatment, it will be removed. Means it is just look like R, rough strain. So heat killed S3 injected into the another mice. then it was live. So in the step 1, S3 is injected into the mice, it was died. In step 3, S3 is injected but it was alive. The reason is it is not heat killed, as it is injected, so that virulent property carried. But here not as it is injected. It is treated with the heat. Due to the heat treatment, the S3 lose its soft coat. So once it lose the soft coat, the rough surface is exposed to the antibodies. The antibodies kill the antigens present on the cell wall surface, so that it cannot act as a virulent. That is the reason mice was live. Now fourth step. It is most crucial steps to understand. In step 4, Griffith injected some combinations. So till the 3 steps there are no combinations. Here mice was injected by the S3, here mice was injected by R2, and here mice was injected by heat killed S3. It's not a combination. But in the step 4, he injected heat killed S3 form plus R2. What is R2? Virulent or non-virulent? Non-virulent. What is heat killed S3? Virulent or non-virulent? Actually S3 is virulent. Because of the heat treatment it become non-virulent. So both the combinations are non-virulent. So this combination is injected to the mice. Then the mice, actually what will happen to the mice? You guess with your common sense. Heat killed S3, result is live, and R2, result is live. So both the combination should be live. But here what happened? Mice was died. What is the reason? Why it was died? Do you think that S3 got the coat again? But due to the heat treatment it lost the coat. How the coat will form? That's the doubt number 1. And by your curiosity you can understand that R2 become S3, isn't it? It may happen that R2 transformed into S3 or S3 transformed into R2. So many kind of questions comes into our mind. Let us have a look what exactly happened. Griffith concluded in the step 4 that S3 lost its coat but not genome. During the heat treatment, coat will be lost. If any other protein components are there, they may be denatured. But genetic material is stable there. In a proper heat treatment, genetic material will not be denatured. So that genetic material of the S3, which is naked, I already told you in the early of this class, transformation means what? Transformation means what? Naked genetic material enters into the another life state. That is what happened here. The S3 genetic material is naked, right? Whereas if this is the R2 cell, so it enters inside. S3 genetic material enters R2 strain. R2 strain is also there inside the mice body, and along with that heat killed S3 also enter. So this S3 genome enters inside the R2. So once it gets the R2, that particular R2 strain is not becoming S3. I repeat. Suppose if it is a X. Okay, suppose this is the X. This is the one of the R2 strain. This genetic material enters this R2. That R2 is R2. It's not becoming S3. But in the reproduction, it produces many R2s. Na? So many R2s will be produced by this strain. But all these are having smooth coat, nothing but polysaccharide coat around their cell wall. This property is gained by genetic material which is integrated with its genome, expressed by R2. So something is transformed. We cannot conclude that in this step that is a DNA. But Griffith said that something is transformed from S3 to R2 and made the R2 into virulent, so that mice was died. I repeat the last sentence. Griffith concluded in the step 4 why mice was died. Reason is heat killed S3 lost its coat. but not its genome. So the genome enters to R2. Generally R2 is non-virulent. Due to the presence of S3 genome inside the R2 next generations are becoming virulent. Those virulent R2 generations act as S3, then mice was killed by them. Here the one more interesting thing is, Griffith did not use the term something exactly DNA is transformed from S3 to R2. He said that something is transformed, that may be genetic material. What is that genetic material? Still search is have another question. Is that DNA or RNA? It was not confirmed by the Griffith. If Griffith is not concluded, then who concluded that DNA is the genetic material that is transformed from S3 to R2 and make the R2 into virulent to cause the death in the mice? Let us see. There were three scientists called Oswald Avery and McLeod and McCarthy. These are the three scientists together worked on biochemical characterization of transformation principle. Here one should understand that chemicals which are present in the S3, they are worked on heat killed S3. All three are worked on heat killed X3 and they have purified some biochemicals such as DNA, RNA and some proteins. You may ask a question that why they have to work on only heat killed S3, means in step 1 and step 2 and step 3 conducted by the Griffith, there was no any controversy. As per their virulent and non-virulent properties, mice has been killed and live. But unexpectedly in the step 4, even heat killed S3 and non-virulent phase, nothing but R2 together injected, unexpected death happened to the mice. So that what has been exactly transformed from S3, which S3? Heat killed S3 to R2, what exactly transformed is the question. And transformed and made the R2 into virulent. On this they have worked. For their work, some chemicals are required from the suspecting phase, that is heat killed S3. So that is why such a biochemicals they are purified, such as DNA, RNA and proteins. They have conducted some experiments by using such enzymes. There are DNase, RNase and some proteases. Understand? So why they chosen these type of enzymes and what they have done? Let us see. So from the S3 they were suspected first proteins are transforming from heat killed S3 to R2 and make the R2 into virulent. So in case of that suspicion, if they were removed the proteins present in the S3 and let it transfer into the R2, if the same thing happened, then we can conclude that proteins doesn't have any role. So for that purpose they have used the proteases. What they have used on proteins? Proteases. While using the proteases, proteins were removed, means proteins are denatured from the S3 strain. Proteins less S3 strain, means it also have RNA and DNA, but proteins doesn't have. Why proteins were not present inside? Because they were using the proteases to remove the proteins in the case of suspicion. So proteinless S3 and R2 injected into the mice, then mice was died. Means what? Proteins do not have any role. If really proteins have a role, mice should not be died. It has to live. So that proteins were taken. So proteins only the reason to kill it. So whether proteins are present, it is dying. Proteins are not present, it is dying. Means proteins doesn't have any role is the conclusion from this step. I hope you understand, guys. In the second step, they have used RNases. Here you can guess they are suspecting RNA. To remove the RNA present in S3, they have used the RNase enzyme denaturing the RNA present inside the S3. Okay, then that RNA less S3 RNA less H3 means proteins and DNA are present. In before proteins were removed, but in this case only RNA was removed. So RNA less H3 and R2 together injected into the mice, then mice do not show any difference. It was died. Means in the second case also they concluded RNA, whether it is present or absent, death of mice is common. So RNA do not have any role. That is a conclusion from the second step. Yet they have got two conclusions. One is proteins are not transforming and RNA is not transforming. And the rest of thing is DNA. Let us see DNA less H3, can it happen or not? So to remove the DNA, what they have to use? DNases. So that DNases, they were used to remove the DNA, entire the DNA present in heat killed H3. Then that H3 and R2 together injected into the mice. Then mice again, this time not died. Mice is alive. Why mice is alive? DNA is not there. If DNA is not there, the DNA is not going from H3 to R2 and make the R2 into virulent. So DNA is responsible to form the soft coat, smooth coat, shiny coat around the R2. If DNA was not there by the removal using the DNases, how it can provide the character of smoothness around the cell wall? So that it R2 become R2, it will become non-virulent and it will be attacked by the antibodies of the mice. So that is the result. It was alive. Who is alive? Mice is alive. So they were concluded DNA is the responsible material to cause the death in mice. So that DNA is the only genetic material. It is transformed from S3 to R2 and make the R2 into virulent is the conclusion of the biochemical characterization of transformation principle. Even this much of experiment they have done, okay, from 1933 to 1944, some scientists are not convinced among their works and contributions. Okay, let it be. This is the information regarding Griffith experiments and its supporting principle, that is a biochemical characterization of transformation principle given by the three scientists. I hope you understand, guys. Practice once again and attend the assignment. Thank you.